Hi there, this is Sarah from Great Days by Sarah, and today I have for you a chair workout. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, we'll see. I like these activities because it gives you an idea of ways that you can sneak in exercise throughout the course of your day. Whether you're at a home office or at the park with your kids, there's benches and seats everywhere, so why not increase your exercise, even here and there? Every little bit counts. Let's get warmed up. We'll start in your space. You're going to walk out into a plank, bend your knees as much as you need to, and walk your hands back in. If a full plank is not for you today, drop your knees. Then walk your hands back in and stand up slow. As we begin to warm up and begin to increase our heart rate, start to connect with your breath. Try not to hold it. Make sure you're breathing, whether it's in through your nose or into your mouth, as long as we're not holding your breath. Stand it up, arm circles back. Reverse it, bring them forward. Find a wide stance, side lunges. Sit it back, up through center, sit the opposite way, up through center. Last one each direction. Walking quad stretch. One hand, one foot, tiny tug, step it through. If you don't have space to walk it out, just stand, shift the weight, side to side. Knees are close together. Last one. Bring it down onto the floor for one final one. Left foot comes out front, right knee stays on the floor. Now open up through your hip flexor. The area that gets the most height as we sit throughout the course of our lives. Send your hips forward, chest stays lifted. If you need a bigger stretch, play with it a little bit. Maybe walk your front foot out further. Reach your back leg backwards further and sink a little deeper. Most of us feel this immediately. And switch it over, other side. This is a great stretch to do at the end of the day at the office or when you get out of a car from a long road trip. Your hip flexors are the ones that are the tightest. Sink it a little bit deeper. And then stand it up. Let's get started. Grab your chair. And we're going to start with a squat. So feet are going to be about as wide as your chair, so maybe a little bit wider than your regular squat. For today, our arms are going to be behind our head very lightly. So not yanking your head, elbows are back, not forward. And we're going to sit down, we're going to fully sit for the first one. So sit there, make sure your chair's there. Maybe adjust your stance a little bit. Your goal to tap your glutes each time on that chair. So you're here, you feel the chair, and stand back up. Join me when you're ready. Sinking your weight into your heels. Sending your hips so far back, like you're going to sit in a little kid's chair. And then be pleasantly surprised when you feel yours hit your glutes. Nice work. We have two more. Last one down and hold. Hover. So we're not touching the chair. Breathe. Squeeze for 3, 2, stand up strong, 1. Release it. Turn around, face your chair, We're gonna go into some push-ups. Thumbs on the chair, hands can wrap around. Unless you have a little bit wider chair, you can put your hands on top and it feels a little more comfortable. Mine dips in a little bit, so I'm gonna hold the edge of my chair. Feet step back and find yourself into a plank. Notice a straight line from my heels to my shoulders. Then my elbows will bend and straighten. You need to modify, easy to modify on this. Drop it down to your knees and straighten, but still that straight line. My hips are not back, it's not here. It's here if we're modifying. Here we go. Pick what works for you. Core is tight. Gaze is down. Really straight and strong as you press up in one piece. You got this. Big range of motion here, last two. Stand it up, shake out your arms. Grab a sip of water if you'd like. We're gonna go into some lunges. Couple variations with this one. The first one is we're gonna reach back and put our foot on the chair. So I'm gonna start with my left foot in front. My right foot's gonna go back. To get up here, if you don't have the balance, bring your hands to your mat, reach your foot back. Toes will be on the chair. Then slowly reach back. Up. Here's the tricky part. Find your distance. Make sure this knee is not in front of your toes. So you might need to adjust a little bit. Arms wherever they feel comfortable. I like to put them on my hips on this one, so it reminds me to drive my right hip forward, my left hip back. Here we go. It's slow. Both legs are working. Straight up, straight down. Make sure your shoulders are over your hips. You're not leaning forward over that front leg. Try to get down to 90. Go as close to 90 as you can. And last two. Last one, hold. We're down. You're holding. You might be shaking. My back leg is. For 3, 2, 1, stand it up. Relax it. Shake it out. We're gonna give your legs a break and go into some dips first. Then we'll come back to the other leg. So turn around once again, have a seat in your chair. This time you're gonna actually physically almost sit on your thumbs. Fingertips will hang off the edge of the chair, either on the side or on the front. Whatever makes it easier for you, for your elbows to go straight back, not to the side. My chair's a little bit narrow, so we'll try to send them to the front. You're gonna keep your knees bent for this first one because I only want you to focus on your arms. Down to 90 and straight back up. If that was too easy, then begin to walk them out. Straight down and right back up. Join me when you're ready. Keep your hips close to the chair. You're light in your feet, it's just your arms doing the work. And make sure your elbows are going straight backwards, not swaying to the side. So good, last two. And one. Have a seat, shake out your arms. I didn't forget, other leg, right leg in front. Lunges. Lift the back leg up to the chair safely. Find your balance first. Come on up. Maybe you need to adjust. Hop that foot forward so you have your knee directly over your ankle. And when you're ready, straight down and up. One leg is usually stronger than the other. So give yourself some grace if it takes a little bit longer to get into on a weaker side. My hip flexors to my left foot are or my left leg are much tighter. So I find this tougher in my back leg opposed to the opposite way. But I get as low as I can. I do what feels good in my body today. And each day is different. Last two. You fall out, you just get right back in. Down and hold. Lift your head, lift your chest. 3, 2, 1, release it. Relax. Shake it out. This next one, you don't necessarily need your chair, but I like your chair for a little bit of depth. So I'm going to put the chair this way and you actually use the back of the chair for this next one. We're going to go into some sumo squats. So toes turn out, knees go out, but the chair allows you to go maybe a little bit deeper than you usually would because you're not worried about balance. You're also not worried about getting stuck at the bottom. So it'll look like this. Feet are wide. Chest is still tall, even though I'm going to use the chair. I squat down as low as I can. Fingertips light on the chair unless I need them and come right back up. So my chest stays up the whole time away from the chair. It's also good posture check. A lot of times in these sumos we tend to dip down, and with the chair in front of us we can't. And test your depth. If you can't get stuck, use the chair to pull yourself up. Press through your heels. This is our halfway point of our workout. Check in how you're feeling. Can you push yourself a little bit harder, a little bit deeper on these postures? Last two. You know what's coming. We hold on the last one. We hold, get low, hands off the chair, maybe even lift your arms up. Get low for 3, 2, and 1. Stand it up, wiggle it out. Reset your chair in your space. Going into a push-up, this time we're going to reverse it. Instead of having our hands on the chair, our feet are going to be on the chair. Now, this isn't great for everyone. So if this is too challenging for you and it doesn't feel good, you can hold in a plank with your feet on the chair, or just come down to your mat and join us for some push-ups. Because this one you can't modify with your feet on the chair. So we'll start like this. Feet are up, hands are down. You go into a decline push-up. Now, this doesn't really work because your feet are on the chair. So if you're unable to do it from the chair, do it from the ground. Just don't cross your feet. You can always modify push-up or try the push-up from your feet on the ground. So without the chair, not a decline, different muscle group. Okay, here we go. Pick your poison. Find your chair. Find your plank. Make sure your hips aren't up in the air. They're down here. And here we go. All the way down and up, whatever that means for you. Maybe it's just here. That's okay. Maybe it's full. Maybe you can tap your chin. I think if I tap my chin, I'll get stuck. But I'm going to try one. So close to getting stuck. You got this. Little or big, make it happen. Wherever you are, you can hold in the plank or do 2 more. Release it, relax, come down, and we're gonna flip it around. Coming into a bridge on the chair. So this time, feet come up, upper body's down, heels press on. If you have sneakers on, this might be a little bit easier. My feet are a little slick, barefoot today, but it looks like this. We press down, hips high, and lower. No tap. Daylight rule. There's got to be some daylight underneath your hips when we lower. Press strong for your glutes. Keep your legs looking like 11s. They're not splaying out, they're not touching. They're parallel the whole time. You got this. Press strong, lift high. Gaze is towards the ceiling. Don't worry about your legs once you fix your form. Last two. We hold at the top on this one. Hold and squeeze. Can you lift a little higher? For 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down slow. Roll it out however you can. Flipping back over. Feet are going to be on the chair this time, starting in that same push-up position. But we're going to go into Spiderman Planks. I'll show you on the floor because they're very challenging on the floor, and it's next level on the chair. So they look like this. You're in a plank, and then elbows to knee, or really I should say knee to elbow, coming here. Now, if you want to intensify it, you can add the push-up with it and press back up. For today, especially on the chair, I'm just bringing the outside of the inside of my knee to the outside of my elbow, coming this way. From the chair, adding another balance component, as well as some instability when it comes to being on the chair. So find your plank. We only have one move after this. So home stretch, find your plank, and here we go. Maybe your knee touches your elbow, maybe you're not quite there. Just keep it to the side so you get the work through your obliques. Arms are straight and strong. Hold in the plank if you need a break. If not, continue to work your obliques. Last one each side. And bring it down. Last exercise, side plank. Coming up onto the chair, hand in the middle of the chair. Feet, a bunch of different options. We can stagger them here and hold. You can stack them and hold, or you can lift a top leg and hold. The tricky part on your chair, especially if it's not flat, is finding the flattest part of your chair. So for me, it's a little bit towards the back. Find the foot position that works for you. I'm going to stack to start. We breathe and hold. Think straight line from your shoulders all the way to your heels. Send your hips a little bit forward. We tend to pike back. And hold. If you're lifting your leg, awesome. Feels good on your hip, keep it up. We're adding on from here. It's a dip and up. Maybe it's tiny, it's just here. And up. Maybe it's big. All the way down almost to the chair. And up. Not many of these. Keep your hips facing forward, your chest facing forward. Last two. Maybe your leg is lifted. Release it. Switch it over, other side. Find that flat spot on your chair. Last move for today. Try what you tried on the other side to start. Find the side plank to begin with. Staggering your feet is a little bit easier. It takes the balance component less. Maybe you stack, maybe you lift. Find where you are today and add the dip. Tiny dip and extend. Dip and extend. Maybe it's big. All the way down. All the way up, making those obliques work. Maybe your leg's lifted. You have two to go. Maybe try with your leg lifted and release it. Move your chair out of your space. Do a couple deep breaths together. Inhale brings us up. Exhale, release. One more just like that. Inhale up. Exhale, Release. We're going to find ourselves into a side lunge. It can be high, it can be low. Just opening up again through your inner thigh. If this does not work for you, come up here, side lunge. Switch it over, other side. Turn towards this bent leg. Drop your back knee. This time, both hands in the center. Maybe you feel it here, as I do, or maybe you can drop it to your elbows for a little bit deeper of a stretch. But either way, still hugging that front knee in towards your arms. Straighten out your front leg. Half splits. Pull your left hip back, right hip forward. Think about sternum towards your knee, not necessarily forehead to your knee. And then switch it over, other side. Find the lunge first. Both hands on the inside. Back knee is dropped. Maybe it's here, or you drop down to your elbows for a deeper stretch. Not letting that front leg splay to the side. Walk your hands back, hips back. Find that half split. Tug your right hip back in. Left hip goes forward a little bit. Hamstring stretch. Then just find yourself into a seat. Swing your legs around. Reach your arms back. Pinkies close or to touch. Chest opening stretch, and then if it feels good, gaze towards the sky. Big breath. Last one in. And let it go. Thanks for joining me today for that chair workout. Maybe you can sneak something in at the park or at the home office. Go have a great day.